we're gonna picture what it's like to live here, right? We've got these beautiful trees, it smells nice.
Absolutely, yeah. So, the team's done a good job of clearing this. I know it's hard to imagine 100%, but, in the next couple of months, this will be, a defined roadway. You'll have trails. And what you'll see, which is pretty unusual for a development site, is we try to save as many trees as possible.
A couple months ago, I made this video, Where Will Tesla Employees Live in Austin? And to my surprise, it got over 500,000 views in just a matter of months. The video is focusing on Neu Community. That's a new modular housing development in the Austin area. So while I was back on my last trip, I wanted to go and get an update. And this is the first time that I actually got to walk around one of these sites where all of this is going to be developed.
Where are we right now?
Great question.
Yeah.
so we're in Bastrop. We are at the future site of the Neu Community Assembly unit. And what you see here is the work of many who've cleared the land for us.
So yeah, this lot is clearly blank right now, but imagine there will be 3 large buildings, 900 feet long, 100 feet wide, and these will be the buildings where they're assembling the units, much like Gigafactory, where all the material goes in and out comes the finished product.
What's interesting about the site itself is that we are building a sprung structure, which for those familiar with Tesla's Model 3 plant in Fremont, it's the same kind of structure. So we'll put it up in hopefully less than 60 to 90 days. And we've got 3 buildings, total 90,000 square feet. So we'll have the ability to build up to 50,000 modules here at this site and location.
So, I made that first video about Neu Community. It got over 500,000 views in like less than 4 months, which just blew my mind. But, some of those comments didn't come without criticism. I think some people say, what the heck, when is this gonna happen?
Sure.
Have you experienced delays? What would you say to those people that think that this isn't real?
No, and I think firstly, really appreciate the fact that people have been patient with us. The timeline did extend, and the good news is, and as you can see here, this is really a sort of major milestone for us right now. The assembly plant is targeted to be up this fall, with the first modules coming out between fall and winter. So we really are starting to see that acceleration. And so, all of our homeowners who put their initial reservations down, in about a week to 2 weeks time, the website's going to be relaunched. They'll be able to go in and select their actual physical location of their homes.
Okay.
So we're just a few steps away from that. The assembly plant is here. If you imagine the first campus, we'll go over there next, is about a mile over in that direction. We just came through what would be the car park area. And that's where, if you got your gas-powered car, you'd pull in, park up. It's kind of like Disney World. Then you check in and you could jump on your scooter, your bike, your Tesla car share, and actually then come in proper to the community.
And just to give you guys an idea of where exactly this location is in proximity with some of Elon Musk's ventures, we're about 10 minutes away from where the Boring Company is now located, about 15 minutes from Tesla, similar time frame to get to the SpaceX facility, and we're only about 25 minutes away from downtown Austin. So it really is a great location.
So Bastrop is growing fast.
So this is the one targeted for, if you're a Tesla employee, you probably want to be here.
You'd want to be here. We've got the school coming as well. And so we expect that this will be the perfect place for anyone who has a family, all the way to who's single, who wants to enjoy a lot of the amenities that we're building out here. But certainly Tesla employees, we welcome them to be part of this community. We prioritized really getting the affordable housing piece addressed in Austin. So, one of the challenges right now is that despite the market conditions externally, Austin is still seeing plenty of growth. I saw a recent report that there's a shortage of almost 100,000 multifamily homes, So the demand is there, and so we are really prioritizing how do we get housing for teachers, Tesla workers, firefighters, basically those who otherwise, may not be or could be priced out of this market. So the priority is this New Creek to help on that affordability side. And we have a partnership with Habitat for Humanity. And so we're really about how do we accelerate that, and then the lake and the mountain will be close behind. Everything that you see piled up there was what was under the trees and in this area that the team just cleared out. So now we're mulching all of that, and that will actually become part of the reuse inside of the community as well for any of the landscaping as well.
So this, as you can see, is a barbell. I'm just kidding. This is an earth screw, and this is why the process is going to be so much faster here at this campus, because these are drilled into the ground so they won't have to pour concrete. The units are going to sit atop these earth screws.
We've tried to protect as much of the environment, and because of the earth screws that you showed earlier, we can drop these in, and we don't have to tear stuff down. And you can see like these two large, beautiful trees here, are saved, and they're staying. This is part of the community. It's part of our identity, and so that's true for all the locations that we're building. Is this how do you integrate into the environment versus destroying the environment to make room for us?
Right. New Creek. Is there a creek?
There is a little pond.
Okay.
We've got it. It's sort of midway between where you were in the assembly plan and to here. If from the aerial pictures that you'll see of New Creek on the website, you'll actually see the pond, and there are some areas across the campus where there's little rivulets and small creeks.
So we're thinking that this location will be open first?
Yes.
Okay.
We are targeting, between fall and winter to be deploying the first homes here. As I mentioned, a real key milestone in the next few weeks is all those people who had reservations can come in to the site. They can actually select the location of where their home's going to be, and then put their deposit. They put a reservation, but now we'll move into a full deposit, and then we can start talking to them exactly about when their move-in date should be.
Yeah, when do you estimate ballpark?
I mean, I would, if you had to put a date to it, I'm thinking probably around the November, December timeframe.
Cool. Some of the other comments that we got a lot of is like, how is this thing going to hold up in, a major wind event, or, what kind of insulation? So maybe address some of those questions.
Sure. One of the interesting things is that we did almost like a 1,000-page study. We went through all of the tests that you have to pass through California regulations. And we did like wind tunnel tests, we did earthquake, and passed all of that flying colors. So we've really, the technology for the home is based on skyscraper technology, which if you look at our skyscrapers today, they're built to last.
Yeah.
And they can withstand a lot. So we see these homes being very similar in terms of being more robust than a traditional stick-built home. So this is New Creek and Campus 1, the first of 5 campuses that will be here. And we are actually at the front of Block 1. So this is the first location of the home sites. So as the assembly plant produces modules, this is the first location that they will come. Technology is a big part of what we're integrating into the community. So from a smart connected home where you can automate lights, temperature, then coming out into the community and you've got smart street lighting, cameras, very secure. Cool feature that we're working on is, let's say that you're looking at the camera at the basketball court and you can decide if, is it free? Should I go down there? You can just click through your wall pad, see what's happening through the cameras in the community. And so there's an element of convenience, but there's also an element of security.
Neu Community is also offering a build to rent option. They've brought investors in who will invest in purchasing a home with the hope that they will be leased by teachers or factory workers. And this will give those workers the opportunity to get into home ownership as well. So about 30% of the community will be rental, the rest will be for purchase.
The average homeowner has selected a 10 module home. We're right now working with some consultants on how do we automate the process and speed up the actual assembly of the homes. And so we've worked out, sort of guiding machines that can do the heavy lifting, basically to make the whole process go quickly. Because it is no small feat trying to crank out 50,000 modules in 1 year.
Right, but isn't that sort of the goal, is like to fight the problem of sticks and bricks taking too long?
Exactly, and I think that's one of our differentiations, is that this process allows for us to build quickly. And keep in mind, this site will build out all 3 locations. So modules will go from here to the lake, to the mountain, and then over to the creek. So once the facility has fully assembled all campuses, so where we're standing today, we have 5 campuses planned. So that's almost 5,000 people living here. And so once we've actually built out all 3 campuses, all 3 sites, then this facility could become a warehouse for some of our suppliers. Jonathan's already been contacted by interested parties that want to take us to other places in the US. For us, it's about building a brand. Neu Community is not just modular homes. It's actually about building this whole community experience. And this idea that we don't limit financial, we're not limiting the type of people who can live in this community. There's probably very few communities where you could say the teacher that teaches the kids and then the adults whose kids are in those schools all live in the same place. I mean, it's really about how do we break down a lot of those barriers. In this community, technology is a really big aspect. So as we take Neu to other locations across the country, it is this whole idea of modular homes, eco-sustainable communities that we're building. We would probably target at least 10% of the homes here would be targeted towards affordable.
It's really exciting to see the development, and I can't wait to come back here in a few months when there's even more progress. So, I think that, we've seen through YouTube that this has generated a lot of interest, and there's a housing crisis across the country, but especially here in Texas, in the Austin region. So.
Absolutely. Well, we really appreciate you bringing visibility to Neu Community, and we're encouraging people to check us out. And I think this is what the future of home building could look like, and the future of what communities should be. So thanks for being part of the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.